So, y'all, I finally fucking finished the Poughkeepsie tapes. Again, this is a film that I was never able to get all the way fully through, whether it be because I fell asleep on it or it was just certain parts that got up under my skin literally, and I just needed to turn it off because I was definitely feeling some type of way, sitting in a dark room all alone. What is the Poughkeepsie tapes, you ask? Okay. Directed by John Eric Dowdle. This is a 2007 film. It is 81 minutes long. The terror is real. When hundreds of videotapes showing torture, murder, and dismemberment are found in an abandoned house, they reveal a serial killer's decade-long reign of terror and become the most disturbing collection of evidence homicide detectives have ever seen. On Letterboxd, it has a rating of a 2.7. A lot of people didn't find this movie very good, and that's fine. With me, I'm not necessarily looking at how good everything looks on film, how good it's edited, Even if the acting isn't all that great, I still found appreciation in this film, and I finally fucking finished it. The reason I like this movie is because it's fucking creepy. It's creepy and it makes you feel like, oh, fuck, I need to turn this off because why am I watching this? This is, and I typically don't get nightmares and I don't get scared off of movies anymore because, again, a lot of movies that come out here lately are just bullshit. Either it's a remake or either it's some type of just stupid plot creature thing and it doesn't make any sense. It's not any fun and it's definitely not scary. When I think about horror movies and when I want to go to a fucking theater to spend bread to see a movie, I want to be scared. I want to come up out of the movie theater like having conversations like, oh, yo, this is like, this made me feel this, that, and the third. That is the whole point of going to a movie theater, to get the experience, to get fucking scared, to have to kind of sit back in your seat a little bit and kind of tell yourself this is only a movie. So with Poughkeepsie tapes, I, of course, didn't get to see it in theaters because I believe it wasn't being played in theaters because it was kind of harsh. And so we're going to get right into it. What did I rate the Poughkeepsie tapes? I'll give this movie a 4 out of 5. If I could change anything about this movie, it would probably be I don't want to say to see more torture because we definitely got a lot of that, but I kind of wanted to see more about what the day-to-day life of the serial killer was about. Like, what was his home life about? What was his early childhood life about? I wanted to get a little more background into what exactly made him snap into this, and maybe I missed that part. But they did say we don't necessarily know if he lost the job, lost the marriage, lost this, that, and the third for him to snap. But me personally, I want to see what made him go into this type of territory. Because all of this movie is pretty much like a fetish torture film, if I had to say so. A lot of these things that he was making her do, the way he was had her tied up, the things that he was telling her to call him, the terms he was using, very much so given fet life. And if you know, you motherfucking know. So it creeped me out simply because it was based upon a lot of fetishes, weird and everything in between. And so I didn't like the way it was filmed as far as how they wanted to make the VHS effect. I felt like they used way too many filters on a lot of that effect for it to look like VHS type. If they would have stuck to one filter, I think they would have been perfectly fine. But I think that was really my only gripe about it. The VHS effect was doing a little too much and it was looking a little too much like Instagram overdoing it with these weird ass filters. But as far as it being a horror psychological film, whatever you would like to categorize this film as, it definitely gave me the chills. The part that I had to turn it off at is when I seen Homeboy, and he was not bent backwards. He was bent frontwards, walking on his hands and feet in a very weird manner. He had two masks on, one over his face and one on top of his head. And the fact that he was creeping and crawling behind her, she couldn't see him, but she just knew it was some bullshit going on behind her. And you could feel the anxiety in her movements. Her eyeballs told it all. And when he stuck those needles into her fucking neck and she started to cough, he had poison or bleach or whatever the fuck he had in those needles. Because the way she fucking coughed up and just was just dead, just dying, it creeped me the fuck out. It creeped me out. I didn't want to watch it anymore. I said, you know what? I got to turn this shit off, because the way my mind is set up right now, I don't even want to think about it. So I turned it off from there. But I picked it back up and I did finish it. So the other part that really fucking creeped me out, and I don't remember if this was before or after we seen him do that creepy ass walk, when we had the random lady he picked up out of fucking nowhere. I'm not sure why she automatically assumed he was a police officer. I don't think he had any type of uniform on. And I'm not all the way sure if his car was a police car efficient. Was it approved? I think only, it might have been maybe the car looked similar to a police whip. Because it had that partition thing in the middle of the car to separate the back seat from the front. I don't know. But my stomach turned when I was watching this lady's reaction to figuring out that she done fucked up. Her face, like, you can just feel the horror, the terror, the oh my fucking goodness when you looked at her. If you could get an award from horror movies, because I feel like horror movies do not get awards or win awards, because I don't know why, but they should, because it takes hell of acting skills and courage to do these scenes. She should have won. Her face told it all. Her fear literally became my fear, and I was like, oh my gosh, the way she was screaming, you would have thought this was some legit stuff. And this might have been why it was taken out of theaters, or the actual movie itself, the scenes and things being redone and rearranged and things put in and taken out. But oh my goodness, the fear that lady showcased in that specific scene, it gave me chills. People talk about Hereditary and Toni Collette and her role in that film, which was fucking awesome. Hereditary has made its way into being just like the GOAT of the fucking film, and all is well with that. But this lady's performance in this scene, in the Poughkeepsie tapes, her in that backseat, realizing she's just been kidnapped, I was like, wow. If I didn't turn the film off before, I probably would have turned it off there, because it was so raw and emotional. I felt like I was in the backseat with her, and I was scared and shook, and I needed to go and, I don't fucking know, watch Barney episodes or some SpongeBob or something. But we're going to keep this short. We at 9 minutes and 35 seconds right now. I'm excited, y'all. But this movie was really good. And if you are somebody who really enjoys horror and who really enjoys being terrified by horror, and you don't want to watch some stupid I want to say, Lifetime fake ass horror movie that is not really, that doesn't have the substance of calling itself horror, I definitely suggest you go on Tubi and definitely check out the Poughkeepsie tapes. It is, again, a 2007 flick. Who cares about the age of the movie? Because what I found is a lot of our throwback horror movies, early 2000s, late 90s, mid 2000s even, were good times for film, especially in horror. So the Poughkeepsie tape might not have been at the top of everybody's list, but it should be now, because it is definitely a spooky, creepy as, ooh, I feel really weird right now ass movie. Go watch Poughkeepsie tapes. Again, I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Bye, y'all.